This isn't about sanctions anymore. When military assets move before headlines do, something is shifting. The United States and Iran are entering a new phase of rivalry. This is not open war. It is a phase of strategic positioning, and positioning phases are the most dangerous. For decades, the United States and Iran have avoided direct conflict. Instead, the confrontation stayed indirect. Sanctions were used as a primary tool of economic pressure. Cyber operations became a new frontier for this indirect conflict. Regional proxies extended the reach of both nations across the borders. Both sides understood the cost of full war, but indirect systems become unstable when pressure rises. Recently, military repositioning has accelerated. Naval assets are currently moving. Regional actors are hardening rhetoric. Oil markets are reacting before official statements are even made. That's not normal diplomatic tension. That's deterrence signaling. There is one location that changes everything. This is the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global choke point. Nearly 20% of global oil flows through that narrow passage. Iran doesn't need to defeat the U.S. Navy. It only needs to disrupt confidence in that corridor. Markets move on fear long before missiles move in the sky. Iran rarely confronts the United States directly. Instead, it builds influence through regional militias and political networks. This creates distance between action and responsibility. Conflict remains below the threshold of full war, but layered strategies become volatile when escalation pressure increases. At its core, Washington's primary objective in the region is deterrence. Carrier groups and missile defense systems send a message: do not escalate. But deterrence carries a paradox. The stronger the signal, the greater the perception of threat. And miscalculation is how conflicts begin. The first possible path is contained exchange. Limited strikes, measured retaliation. Markets will likely experience a temporary yet sharp market shock. Tension rises, then stabilizes. This is the most controlled outcome, but it requires discipline on both sides. The second path is regional chain reaction. Proxy forces activate across multiple countries. Shipping routes begin to slow. Consequently, oil prices spike. What begins as a localized exchange becomes economic turbulence worldwide. This is where escalation becomes difficult to contain. The third path is disruption of the Strait of Hormuz. Even partial obstruction would trigger immediate economic shock. Global maritime insurance premiums would begin to surge. Energy markets around the world would react almost instantly. This scenario doesn't require a declaration of war. All it takes is a single, unpredictable spark. For Canada, this isn't distant geopolitics. Higher oil prices benefit producers, but fuel inflation pressures consumers nationwide. As a NATO partner, Canada aligns strategically, even if quietly. This is not a war announcement, it's a positioning phase. If you follow global power shifts and geopolitical risk, subscribe. We don't chase headlines, we track positioning.